Okay, we're going to try this again. Every time I start to record this, the smoke from the campfire blows into my face or into the screen. So now I'm down here in the Kiamichi Mountains at a place I frequently camp. I'm doing a solo camp this evening. And while there's still enough light to read it by, I want to share with you an email that I received from one of my friends and subscribers named Mike Metters. He has sent in questions that are very relevant in the past, and I wanted to share this with you. And this is regarding whether or not Bigfoot can detect IR or infrared light like is put off by a game camera. I'll just read his email. He said, "Hope this email finds you and your family well and safe." Let me go on here. Basic question is, do you think Sasquatch can see in the infrared spectrum? In other words, do you think they can see in the dark? Of course, I have a reason for asking, and I think it's fairly solid reasoning, or at least seems so to me. I've heard many reports of people not being able to get pictures of these creatures on trail cams. The trail cam will be working perfectly fine, and they are placed in a known location, yet they are very rarely caught on game cameras. Often, in fact, these cameras have been messed with or even covered up or hidden. I'm wondering if you think that they can see the IR beam. If you've ever seen an infrared light through night vision, I have. Okay. I hope the camera microphone picked that up. If you've ever seen an infrared light through night vision, it's basically like a flashlight, just as bright, whereas human eyes can't even detect that there is any illumination at all. It's really interesting how a very bright light can be on and even pointing in your face, and you can't see it until you put on goggles or a night vision scope. It's known by science that some nocturnal creatures do indeed have a form of night vision and can in fact see to some extent in the infrared spectrum. So I was sitting around and just wondering about this theory and thought, I'll ask Dave. I figure that if nothing else, you'll have an interesting take on the topic. I, of course, don't have any proof for or against other than other people's experiences and testimony. I'm just wondering your thoughts or experiences with this. It's a seemingly large amount of people that are claiming this. Also, I've heard multiple people describe these beings as being able to see as good at night as we can see in the daylight. I believe it was, he gives a person's name, I won't repeat here, who said that he watched a Bigfoot, under IR watching him, and he said that it acted as though he could see him. Even though it was night and there was no flashlights, but it moved and acted as if it was visible. And this isn't the only account that I've heard of them acting as though they think we can see them at night. My thought process behind that is that if they can see in the night, it seems that naturally they would just assume that we can too see in the night. And of course I'm speculating and only offering up a thought experiment, but I thought it might be fun and interesting to ponder this theory. Thank you for listening, and sorry for the drawn out ramblings. No problem, Mike. That's a very valid question. I spoke at a Bigfoot convention just the other night in Ada at the library they had a good turnout at that, by the way, and that was one of the questions that come up. Of course, we don't have a type specimen of a Sasquatch or anything to really answer that in the 100%, but it does seem like that there is that possibility. I mean, how many times have you seen pictures from a game camera of deer, coyotes, wolves, or other types of nocturnal animal that seem to be staring right into the camera? So they seem to be, at least like deer and coyotes and stuff, able to see that beam. So I would think maybe if the Sasquatch has really good night vision, which according to reports, and a lot of the sightings do happen after dark, that they would have a better night vision than we have. So I think it's very much within the realm of possibilities. Now, why are there not more caught on game camera? Well, keep in mind these are very rare beings, so it's either there's different possibilities. Either they can see the beam that the game camera is putting out in infrared and avoid it, or there's the possibility that there just isn't one in the area where the game camera is put out. Two different possibilities. But if a Sasquatch can see IR, I would think it would stand to reason that something as intelligent as these beings have to have been avoiding us for as long as they have, would have the intelligence it would take to see this and avoid them. So anyway, that's my thought on it. It's a very valid question. If anyone watching this has any thoughts or experiences regarding the infrared spectrum in relation to the Sasquatch, put it down in the comments or send me an email at bigfootandmore@yahoo.com. That's bigfootandmore@yahoo.com. If you have any questions or sightings or encounters that you would like to report, send me an email as well to that same address, bigfootandmore@yahoo.com. Now it is just about completely dark out here, and I've got my campfire, and I'm going to sit and listen to the night, which is what I generally do when I come out on these solo camps. So that being said, I will keep my camera ready and recording just in case anything interesting happens tonight. If nothing does, it's still a very nice camp time. So you guys stay tuned.